gotta bring it. Stay, stay, stay.
Come on. Yo, up the lead, up the lead, up the lead.
Peterson has to hoist and throws a three.
Yo, Wojo. Quick.
Yo, if they blitz it.
He can score the ball in a lot of different ways.
Let's win this game, please.
Keeps the dribble here the entire time. Oh, what a shot.
You know, it's a blessing to be here, and I think it's really exciting. You know, this is just the start of my journey.
Oh, Cookies! Boozer with the fly!
I was just taking that game as serious as I could, like it was the NBA playoffs. I'm just grateful for the opportunity to play again.
It was in a losing effort, but Wilson put on a show.
A lot of people feel like this is going to go down as one of the best draft classes ever in NBA history.
From Las Vegas, it's Championship Sunday.
Man, set it to him. Just that's on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Let's go, boy. Just able to get the dunk.
Lindeborg for 3. Down, the lead belongs to the Warriors. Warriors win it for the championship.
That's right, baby. That's right, baby.
All right, here's a look at your updated Rookie of the Year odds, courtesy of DraftKings Sportsbook. Darren Peterson and Cameron Boozer are currently tied for the shortest odds, just ahead of A.J. DeBonsa and Caleb Wilson. All right, Summer League has come and gone, welcoming in our senior writer, Vince Goodwill, and everybody on this panel, by the way, a Summer League sicko. We didn't just come in and eat our Javier's and go home. We were out there. Vince, we're going to start with you. Who had your attention after an impressive Summer League showing?
Caleb Wilson as the number 4 pick. I know we talked about this being a generational draft, but the Chicago Bulls, more than any other franchise, since they traded Derrick Rose in the summer of 2016, they have not gotten the draft right. Last time they had a number 4 pick, Patrick Williams in 2020, and he's underwhelmed throughout that time. So Bryson Graham and that new front office getting the first pick of their regime properly done is a big thing for them because they've been constantly in the muck as a franchise for the last 10 years. I know it's Summer League, but man, didn't he look like a baby Kevin Garnett? Didn't he just look like a franchise player in the little glimpse that we got?
Yeah, so excited to see, of course, what he can do with Tiago Splitter there in Chicago. Dave, you spent a couple days in Vegas on the sidelines. Who caught your eye out there?
Yeah, Vanessa, let's talk about Braden Berries. He goes from a Final Four appearance with Arizona to being top 5 in Summer League scoring, averaging about 24, 5 and 5. He was able to get into the lane kind of with at will, a little bit of a snake dribble to his game. He shot a few threes per game, mid-30s percentage-wise, 2 steals per game. And when you talk about a franchise trying to rebuild after trading away the face of the franchise, maybe the best player in franchise history, in Giannis Antetokounmpo, sometimes that can cause a cratering effect. But if you hit on a guy like him in number 10, that's a great value pick for John Horst.
Yeah, it really was. And Braden stood out, it seemed like, in every game out there. Slater, who stood out to you?
Darius Acuff. He wasn't particularly efficient, but he had a high usage there. 29 shots his first game, 100 shots in his first 5 games in Summer League. And that's what the Kings want. You know, he steps into the franchise day one, really, as a 19-year-old who is getting the keys to the offense. And it's going to be a delicate balance for him. He still has some established, known veterans, Domantas Sabonis, Zach LaVine, who would be likely in the starting lineup next to him. So he's going to have to navigate that. But everybody in Kingsland knows, including Sabonis and LaVine, that Acuff is part of this next wave of Kings, Scott Perry's biggest pick. And he's going to have the keys right away, and I think he's going to take a lot of shots.
And Zach LaVine, he was in Las Vegas to see Darius Acuff for 1 game, and he was impressed with him. He said, you know what, I really like his game. I think we're going to play well together. He understands that Acuff is the future of the franchise, and for however long he's there, that's going to be the backcourt for the Sacramento Kings. Like you said, Scott Perry, this is his first big draft pick. They're putting the ball in his hands. And Darius Acuff told me, hey, look, I know I'm going to be measured against Keaton Wagler and Michael Brown Jr. I welcome the competition, and I welcome being the face for the Sacramento Kings franchise. And remember, I'm from Detroit. This is the highest draft pick as a Detroit native for a very long time. So he is carrying a city and a region on his back, and he welcomes all of that.
Slater, I loved covering Yaxel Lindeborg. His versatility was on full display every game, but off the court, sensational interview, so animated, so fun. plays with so much joy. But how much pressure is on Yaxel joining Steph Curry and, of course, a Warriors team where the expectations are just always really high?
He doesn't seem to think there's that much pressure. At least, you mentioned enjoying covering him. The sound bites have been incredible so far. Included in one of those sound bites, I asked him about his early conversations with Steve Kerr, and he mentioned, hey, Steve has a history of not playing rookies, but basically said, he's different, and Steve Kerr's already told him he might start. And I just thought it was interesting to already use the S word as a rookie playing in Summer League. But then guess what? He went out and won Summer League MVP. And I know he's older. He kind of you would expect him to have this type of run in Summer League, but he produced. And honestly, unless LeBron James comes to the Warriors, Jimmy Butler's out, Moses Moody's out, I actually do think he's probably going to start next year.
That's fascinating. Yeah, and all of us that are going to interview him will enjoy him for sure. All right, coming up, Asia Wilson is having...
Come back to NBA Today.
Oh, speaking of the Thunder, they lost another key piece yesterday, but this one might have gone under the radar. Shams Charania reports that assistant coach and shooting guru, the shot doctor, Chip England, is going to the Houston Rockets. Longtime Spurs coach, was in OKC for the past 4 seasons. Houston was bottom 3 in the league last season in three-point attempts, something that could definitely change. Remember, effective field goal percentage accounts for three-pointers being worth more than two-pointers. And among 194 players to attempt at least 250 jumpers last season, Thompson and Şengün had the two lowest effective field goal percentages on those shots. Now, the good news, Şengün and Thompson both extremely malleable, coachable. I can tell you firsthand they are in the gym working on it. I think Chip England, who helped Kawhi's shot, could be huge, and all those guys in OKC. Dave, you covered the other end of that playoff series between the Rockets and Lakers. There's a story that relates to the shooting of the Rockets' young core.
Yeah, we were in Toyota Center, visitors' locker room after Game 3. The Lakers won that one in dramatic fashion. And LeBron sitting in front of his locker, kind of surveying the stat sheet and looking at what Amen Thompson did. And he turned over, I think it was DeMarcus Smart, be like, man, when Amen gets a 15-footer, better watch out. Clearly, his skills speak for themselves. Such a great athlete. The defensive intensity, you can just tell he's a student of the game, wants to get better. But shots 10 feet and beyond last season, he only shot 29% from the field. And so that's a clear area of improvement that he needs to make, and really no better guy than Chip England to work with.
Houston has an extension eligibility decision on him this summer. But to me, it's not just about him either. The Rockets as a team, 31.5 attempts from 3 per game last season, 3rd fewest in the league. You mentioned the playoff series against the Lakers. Amen Thompson only took 8 threes the whole series, 6 games, and Şengün only took 8 threes. It's about volume too, and I think if your confidence gets up, if Chip England can raise the team's confidence, maybe they will take more, because I think in the modern NBA, you have to shoot more threes to win games.
That's right.
And here's the other thing. Chip England has a laundry list of NBA players, starting from Grant Hill, not just Kawhi Leonard, Shane Battier, all types of different players with different shooting forms. So if you look at Amen Thompson's shooting form and you're wondering what can be done with it, he's got a laundry list of successes throughout the course of his career of guys who've done it. And it's important to note out, these things take time. It's not going to be a year-over-year process. Assuming Amen Thompson is the guy, like Slater said, extension eligible, he's going to be the future there. This is going to be a yearly process for him to improve his shooting, getting the shots up. So I wouldn't say expecting a miracle next year. I would expect incremental progress.
Yeah, and he works on that. Anthony Slater, he works on that shot all summer long.
Yeah, the Rockets have generally been, I don't want to say stingy with their extension eligibility, but right, they actually bargained pretty hard with Şengün in the past. And I wonder, Amen Thompson to me seems kind of like almost an auto max type of guy, considering what he means to the franchise. But if he was an auto max guy, would that extension already be done right now?
Yeah, Dave, you've covered the NBA for a long time. You've seen what Chip England can do with these superstars. How can he add that level of confidence to Amen Thompson and Alfred Şengün?
You work on it so often that it just becomes routine. You don't have to think about it anymore. And so I'm sure part of his process will be examining Amen Thompson's form and see if there are any kinks in it that he can work out, and then find something that works for him and get the reps. And when you get the reps, you get the confidence, and then you implement them in 3-on-3 opportunities and 5-on-5 in practice. And then once you can do it in a game, that's where you make the next step. Like everyone thinks, I think everyone at this panel today, we all feel like he's going to be an all-star at some point in his career. This is the work that is required to get to that level.
And Chip England's services were highly sought after, so shout out to the Fertittas for spending that money. I'm excited to cover Chip there in Houston. All right, coming up, still no decision from LeBron, but whenever the King